Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us, Money Connection. I'm Ted Harvey with Ed Bishop, and today's topics are plentiful. We welcome you on the first of the year. We're going to be talking about tax cuts. We're going to talk about that book that's going on, Fire and Fury, and then the net neutrality, Roland Martin, his exit, and Attorney General Sessions, and then, of course, some of our other segments. Ed, how you doing this morning?
Oh, Ted, I am doing great on this new year, and I want to say Happy New Year to our audience and welcome them back into the new year. And we're looking forward to having great things going on here because this black media void and stuff is becoming a reality here. Somebody has to fill that void, and Ted and Ed TV channel is going to try to fill it as much as we can in 2018 because there's a lot of things going on now. A lot.
Yeah, we're gonna fill the void as best we can, you know. But one of the people that is has exited, but he still will be continuing on doing things like something like we're doing. You know, he'll probably be on YouTube and Facebook and Snapchat, because he has all his equipment. He's going to be out there, and that's Roland Martin.
Oh yeah, Mr. Roland Martin, Ascot Martin, Texas A&M graduate.
Yeah, we know all this stuff. I tell you, though, he's a straight up guy, you know, and he believes in what he believes in, and one of the things that he believes in is what in the world is DNC doing, man? What's going on, man? Where's the money?
Oh man. I was watching, I don't know if our audience was, but I watched his last show. I don't usually watch Roland Martin because he has his show so early in the morning, and I can't get up that early and start watching TV because my wife gets mad at me. So I don't usually watch it, but I usually a lot of times watch his recorded stuff on YouTube. And I had a chance and stuff the other day to watch his last show. And one of the things that he had on, well, one of the people he had on there was Maxine Waters, who is our Democratic congressman from California. And he brought Auntie Max Waters on, and they talked about something very, very important that has something to do with our community as far as money. The Democratic National Committee has a lot of money that they get. They have donations that come in and all kinds of money that they have sitting out there. And when it comes time to passing that money along to our representatives in our community and having consultants to come in and having media work and everything and stuff done, that money always manages to go to white organizations, white groups out there who
white media
and white media folks and all the other things, when that money should be filtering down to us, since we are the group and stuff who have almost built the Democratic Party and stuff and have made them today. That money does not come back in our community, and that was something that Roland Martin and all the people on his panel and everything talked about, and that was disgrace that they're hoping that they can talk to the DNC chairman and this, about it and everything to make sure that their money is filtering down. Now, with the DNC, you know how they are. They'll talk and they'll say all those things, and then they'll placate us for a while. And then all of a sudden, when it comes time to spend that money, and they'll quietly give it off to these white media folks and everything, and then expect us to come out and vote for their candidate.
Right. And also, man, they don't hire the adequate marketing consultants. They don't hire the adequate the strategists, advisors. All of this, so many very knowledgeable Black people that's out there that's in the political world that don't get the national coverage that they should, and talking about issues. So I believe that until they start putting the pressure on the DNC is, to me, as far as I'm concerned, they're worthless. As far as that goes, because if you ain't got people in the street knocking on doors, you can mail out all the flyers you want, because when I get them, I throw them away. I don't even read them.
You and I both are the same. Come out the mailbox, I tear them up and throw them in the garbage.
Yeah, throw them in the garbage, just a bunch of garbage,
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk to me, knock on my door if you're a legitimate political person, and that's just the way it is, and then they make all these calls, that's fine and wonderful. But the bottom line is, don't send me no robocall. I want to talk to a person.
Well, I've been a firm believer in the fact that boots on the ground beats money, all kinds of money. If you got people out there who are volunteering and giving you a service and everything to their candidates or whatever, and they're sitting out there knocking on doors from their community, most people are going to listen to the people in their community before they'll listen to one of those politicians. And you can have you can have billions of dollars out there, but you have to have those people on the ground who are going to go out there and they're going to knock on doors. And it shows very clearly in this last election here there in Alabama when they elected the Democrat and stuff for the first time in 25 years. Most of the people and stuff that Doug Jones and stuff had on his campaign, if you look at after the election was over with and he had won, all the people on the stage, a lot of those people on that stage were Black folks who went out and walked around to these churches and everything and walked up in there and asked them to come out and everything and vote for Doug Jones. And if they had not have done that, I don't believe Doug Jones would have won.
Absolutely. There ain't no question about that. He wouldn't have won.
He would not have made it because they energized those Black church members and stuff to come out and vote. They energized all those people in Birmingham, all those major metropolitan areas and stuff that held a huge amount of Black votes and stuff out there. And these organizations got together and they worked very, very hard for Doug Jones. Now, they're looking at Doug Jones, who's going to be the U.S. Senator, the Democratic U.S. Senator from Alabama. What is Doug Jones going to do now for the community who wholeheartedly supported him when he gets to the U.S. Senate? And I'm pretty sure that a lot of those folks and stuff and everything in Alabama who did vote for him and everything are going to start watching him and they're going to say, hey, Doug, what are you going to do for us now? So along with getting that money from the DNC to filter down during these campaigns, we also need to make sure that our representatives and stuff out there are representing us. And
right.
We know that Doug is not going to completely give the Black community everything because he wants to be reelected again and stuff in the year 2020. But we need to see something and stuff in Alabama from that. We need to see something from him that says that he cares about his community and he cares about his vote of the people.
Well, let's put it like this. He's going to be on watch. And if he ain't on watch by nobody, he's going to be on watch by us.
Absolutely.
We're going to find out where his money, what kind of votes he's doing and what kind of proposals he's talking about or whatever he has to do to increase that particular state in the Black community in his state.
Absolutely. And so, and we all know that this is 2018 here and we have midterm elections that are coming about. So there's going to be a lot of money out there and starting in April and May and June, there's going to be millions of dollars and stuff being spent out there to get these folks elected into office. So we're looking to get some of that money into our community and hopefully we'll get it. If we don't, then we need to have an uproar here going on and we need to tell these folks and stuff, hey, you won't give us our money, you can't get our vote.
That's right. That's the bottom line, man. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, another thing that that is really, to me, is a joke, and that's Attorney General session. He was booted out of the. They have a little thing going on this weekend, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, Camp David.
Camp David,
Yeah,
and
Trump
he
is
wasn't
having
invited.
Trump is having a retreat there in Camp David this weekend. Matter of fact, it starts today. And the person who is most obviously being absent from the whole proceedings there is old Beauregard, our U.S. Attorney General. And
Mm.
I don't know what's going on there because the love affair with Beauregard and Trump has been like up and down, up and down. He'll get mad at Trump, and Trump will get mad at him, and he'll tell him you need to resign, and then he doesn't take his resignation. But I believe now that something is going on, and it doesn't, and what's going on doesn't look right. Uh, Beauregard did something that a lot of Republican senators who are in the states and stuff who have legalized marijuana are very upset with him. The states voted to legalize marijuana in those states, and from what we heard here, that there are 29 states right now who have legalized medical marijuana, and there's about 8 or 9 states and stuff who have recreational marijuana. So there's a difference there between it. It's the medical marijuana and recreational marijuana. Recreational marijuana states and stuff have allowed anyone to smoke marijuana wherever they want to smoke it at. But if the medical marijuana states are for people and stuff who are sick, who have glaucoma or other cancer stuff and everything that's going on, and marijuana takes that edge off of the chemotherapy and all that. So a lot of those states have voted that, but Beauregard has came out and he has when Obama was in office and they had that state rights and federal right thing when it came to marijuana laws, Obama passed the act and stuff called the Cole Act, which allowed the federal government and stuff to not to bother the states and stuff who have legalized marijuana, just to make sure that there wasn't any problems and stuff with it. Well, Beauregard the other day says that he is rescinding the Cole Act and he is allowing his U.S. attorneys to criminalize and arrest whatever they do to these states or anyone in these states and stuff who are violating the law. So there's a big fight going on.
Well, one of the reasons why he want to do that is so that he can put more people in jail because he allowed and cut off that federal. There was he started privatizing a lot of those prisons again.
Prisons, yeah, the federal.
So they need to make money, So that's his whole thing, Well, how am I gonna get these prisons full, if I can't arrest nobody? Because they don't, a lot of there's not a whole lot of crime going on out there.
Not now anyway. Like not long as it's cold outside. But anyway, a lot of those states and stuff have a lot of money that come from marijuana sales. And there's a lot of state tax money and stuff that's going into these state coffers. And a lot of these states and stuff are their income from these marijuana sales are in the billions of dollars. Colorado makes somewhere between $2 to $3 billion right now in taxes and stuff off of sales of marijuana. California now wants to get into that act, and they're expecting at least $7 billion to come into their coffers and stuff.
Yeah.
It came on. So you're talking about a lot of money that these states and stuff can get and everything from marijuana sales. And from their studies and stuff, they're saying that these marijuana sales and stuff are less people, create less crimes and stuff when they smoke marijuana than they do when they are drinking, which is a drug and stuff or alcohol that's legal and stuff now. People can drink alcohol, so why can't they smoke marijuana? Even though a lot of their representatives from those states and everything, they don't want this thing to happen. They don't think that they still think that marijuana should be illegal. But if the people in their state says that they want it, then they have to follow the edicts and stuff of their constituents. And their constituents said we want it. And so they have a right and stuff to have it because that's what they voted for. So
absolutely. And so the bottom line is that it's another commodity where people can make money,
absolutely.
another enterprise where people can make money. People can, because people are going to do what they want to do. At least that's what they should be able to do, whatever they want to do, as long as it's legal. Mm-hmm. And if they make marijuana legal, which years ago, it was never illegal to use it, back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Just like cocaine was not illegal. Mm-hmm. And then they changed cocaine. So, and you can get cocaine from, sort of, those types of drugs in the hospital and over the counter, not over the counter, but from your doctor mm-hmm. and what have you. Mm-hmm. That's been proven. What's that drug that's legal now that people are getting? And people are overdosing off of this stuff.
Opiates, you're talking about?
Opiates. Yeah. Opiates, I mean, yeah. And some people, they're addicted to it, but I've never known anybody that's addicted or addicted to marijuana. Mm-hmm. Marijuana is not an addictive drug.
Right. Well, most of these people and stuff who are dying, they're dying from these pain medications and stuff that they have out there. So when they have surgery or whatever, and the doctor gives them pain medicine, they've overused it and everything, and then they become addicted to it. So they go out and try to get more of these pain medicines and stuff now. So it's created a lot of problems and stuff out there. A lot of people are dying because of that. But Beauregard, I guess, is not looking at that part of what's going on. People are dying because of the opiate crisis and stuff out there. He's after the marijuana, and why he decided to do that, I don't know. Because
I just told you the reason why. He want to put more people in jail, and plus he don't like marijuana. He's old school, man. That dude, he's 70 years old. He's old school. He was one of those kids that did not try marijuana. He was against it when he was a teenager.
But he's creating a problem for himself, as a servant and stuff of the public, of the people and stuff out there. He needs to realize, because when Obama did this,
he's on his moral horse, bro. He's on his moral horse.
Eric Holder did not say anything about it. Matter of fact, Obama consulted with Eric Holder before he even decided to have the Cole Act and stuff and everything. He talked to his attorney general and said, hey, what can we do here and everything? And both of them collaborated with it and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. And they both in agreement with it. But why Beauregard wants to bother and stuff now and everything, because there's a lot of other things that these U.S. attorneys and stuff can do. Now he has opened up a hornet's nest and everything, because a lot of these senators and stuff now who control these U.S. attorneys and stuff that have been that he has now appointed and stuff. He's appointed something like 23 29 U.S. attorneys and stuff all over the country. Mm-hmm. Well, when these U.S. attorneys are appointed, they serve and stuff at the behest and stuff of the Congress people, of the senators and stuff who are in those states. And a lot of them are saying now that we're not going to confirm any of your U.S. attorneys and stuff and everything now until you decide to get up off of this thing that you're talking about doing. So he's created a hornet's nest for himself, and he's out there on an island all by himself.
Well, good for him. That's what I say. Good for you, because Trump gonna dump his butt anyway.
Yeah, you don't like Beauregard. He's all right. Your Beauregard's all right. You just got to understand how he is. He's a racist, and you just have to understand he's a racist. He doesn't mean any harm.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we know that.
Oh man.
Hey, I want to break off onto one of our segments, a couple of our segments right quick. Our holistic health. One of the things that what we like to do is sort of kind of help people, with their health, and basically bring up suggestions that Mike can sort of kind of, get your life a little bit better and keeping it moving. So I came up with one of these recipes, which is called Skinny Detox Water Recipe. I'm trying it right now as we speak.
You're trying what?
I'm trying it right now. Skinny Detox Water Recipe. Now, let me tell you what the ingredients are. Lemon, lime, grapefruit, cucumbers, and fresh mint. You sliced all that up in a big jar, put it in the jar, put in some ice water and some pure water, put it in the refrigerator for 5-10 minutes, and pour it out and drink it just like a nice little fresh, refreshing drink. Try it. You might like it. And you can put some honey into it too, you know.
So what happened with the solids and stuff, the cucumbers and stuff like that are inside the drink? Do you leave them in there, or do you squeeze it, or do you blend it
No, you don't have to even squeeze it. You don't even have to squeeze it. Just let it sit in there for 10, 15 minutes, and you don't even have to squeeze it. Now, what I'm going to do, once I finish my second drink off of it, I'm just going to eat up I'm eating my cucumbers and eat up all the lemons and all that. And the grapefruit. Because I got about slices of all of that in there. So try that.
So
next one is
how do you get your liquid? How do you get your liquid? You squeeze the lemons and you squeeze the grapefruits, or does it all automatically create a juice?
It automatically creates. It's called a water recipe. It's not. You're not a juice. It's a water. So what you're doing is that water is getting all in, getting that nutrients from all of those different types of ingredients. And you just, all you do is just pour it out, drink a glass, and I'll probably make about 2 helpings. That's what I do. I did one last night and I got one ready for me when we get off the air before I do my workout this morning.
Okay.
Hey, it's detoxifying. It's supposed to detoxify and slim down. So, and I think it's going to be a pretty good deal. I'm going to try to do that on a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. Okay, word of the week. Alliance. A union or association formed for mutual benefit, especially between countries. Now, on the business side of alliance, is coming together of 2 or more firms to create a unique organization, entity such as a joint venture in which each firm retains its individual identity and internal control. Now, the purpose of an alliance is to actually achieve joint strategic goals and to reduce risks while increasing your business. So I like both of those, from the business side, I really like that definition, because that is alliances. When you form alliances, and that's what I think that our community need to really start looking into, forming alliances with each other and identifying, and then you can help each other, and you still have internal control, but at the same time, you're doing a joint venture, and you're finding out you might be way across another part of the city, but at the same time, you can sort of kind of collaborate, strategize, and figure out, hey, so if you are a restaurant and you have competition across town, you can sort of kind of work together and figure out, hey, you serve a certain kind of food and the other person serves a certain kind of food. So it can be any kind of business that you can join together. They don't have to be the same type of business. So I think alliances is one of the keys to helping communities grow. And you can do alliances with just about anything, nonprofit organizations, retail shops, all of that. So that's my word for today, Ed. Word for the week, Ed.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that our audience are listening to you because a lot of them have startups going on right now, and those alliances and stuff can mean a lot. We a lot of times we find it difficult as our community to work with each other to do things, and by getting alliances and stuff together, you become stronger.
Absolutely.
Uh, you can share your costs, you can share a lot of things and stuff by having alliances, and I've learned and stuff over the years that if you can't be afraid of competition. Competition,
Thank you.
yeah, competition.
Absolutely.
Competition makes you a better person. Competition makes a better business, and being competitive and stuff and everything keeps you on your toes, and it keeps you out there, and it makes you uh, want to do things positively. And you're right. In some instances and stuff, alliances and stuff can be good for both parties.
Absolutely. Because just think of this. One company might be doing a certain thing and they're doing it so quickly that it's saving them money.
Hmm.
The other company might be doing the same thing, but they don't have the same technology and they're not aware of it. And this other company tells them that, hey, this is what we're doing over here.
Hmm.
This might help you, a little better. And then vice versa. You sort of kind of helping each other out in all kinds of ways. It can be technology, it can be um, financing, it can be all kinds of things that you can do things and come up with different ideas and working together and helping people be successful.
Hmm.
So there we go. Now the next thing that we're going to be talking about, fire and fury. Michael Wolff's book. That's all over the news this week.
Oh man, Michael's book was not supposed to come out until the end of this month.
Wow.
Well, it became a media darling here on all of your major news outlets and stuff out there, your major news networks. His book, because people were starting to get excerpts and stuff out of his book, and some of those things that he had put into his book are just oh. It is just, I don't know what to say, Dan. Use the word awesome. It really shows a lot of things that a lot of people were thinking about as far as Trump was concerned. But some of those things that he had put in his book and everything are so explosive that it is just horrible. Trump tried last week to get his attorneys and stuff to stop the publication of his book to come out, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't bring any lawsuits about it and everything. They couldn't find a good reason and stuff in which to go before the courts and everything to have them to stop producing that book. Uh, the publishing companies and stuff, of their book had gotten together with their attorneys, and they decided that what he had in that book was defensible as far as any legal recourses and stuff that Trump or his attorneys and stuff may have. And once their attorneys and stuff got together and said, hey, we don't see anything legally wrong with him putting this book out. And now uh, the book is out, and they said that they have lines out the door waiting on copies of this book. It is going to be a #1 seller for probably all of 2018. And a lot of that stuff in there is very, very explosive. They've got some things in there talking about how his wife and everything, uh, when he finally, they realized that he was going to win the presidency and everything, broke down and started crying because she did not want him to win the presidency. She said, I don't want him to win it. And Trump didn't even think he was going to win it. There are so many, many things in there that they're talking about, how his staff and everything talks about how he's a moron, he's an idiot. It is it is just unbelievable. And some of the things that are in there are talking about his uh, sexual, harassments and stuff that he is doing out there with women and also his friends. He sexually harassing his friends in a very obscure way, and it's just I don't know what to say. It's just I haven't got the book, and I'm probably not going to read it because I don't want to think about how a person, my president, who is in office down there, can be so horrible and be so nasty, and people have put him in office because he's an embarrassment and everything to us, to our to be the leader of the free world. He's an embarrassment. And I don't know, and how people are still out there protecting him and stuff after all this stuff is going on. And most of the people out there who are in the Republican congressmen and the senators and stuff, they know the man is screwed up, but they still want to protect him and keep him in office and stuff because they see a benefit in him being the president of the United States. But he is tearing in this country down. We are quickly becoming a non-entity out there in the world as far as the free world is concerned. Uh, we used to be the light and stuff at the end of the tunnel for anybody, but now a lot of people and stuff now, they don't care about coming to the United States anymore. They want to go to some other countries or whatever because this is not the place that they want to be because of the president. And it's just a horrible thing for this country to have something like this to happen to us. And I find it appalling that it's going on. So,
Well, one thing that I think that is really tell all is that the bottom line is what these politicians and obviously his core group, the people that voted for him, basically all they care about is policy and who he puts in certain positions. Like the Supreme Court, and the judicial system, building that wall, which he's asking for $18 billion to do 700 miles. So, those are the type of things that they look at. They just did the tax cut, something that we're going to be talking about in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, I do not believe that they are going to give him $18 billion to build that wall. I don't believe it. Now he's gotten a lot of his Republican people and stuff around him, and they have that big meeting and stuff over there, get together at Camp David this weekend to talk about what they're planning on doing for 2018. But there were some excerpts and stuff there in Michael Wolff's book that talks about how people and stuff who deal with him and everything can't hold his attention. He's like a kid, and you're sitting there talking to him about policies and everything and what needs to be done, and his attention span is like 10 minutes, and then he's off on something else. So I don't believe that they're going to get very much done. If what this guy is saying is true, they're not going to get very much done over there at Camp David. I'm pretty sure all Trump's going to do is just sit around and act like he's listening to what they have to say, but he has no understanding as to what's going on, and he can't function and stuff in a controlled environment, as you can see from him being in office. He's been in office for almost a year, coming up on the 21st of this month. And most of the time he has spent down there playing golf.
How many days? I think it's something like over 80 days or something like that. I don't know. I mean,
it's been a whole lot, because probably more than that, because they're saying that they're hiding his golf time and stuff because they don't want people to know how much golf he's playing down there at his golf course. So, but that's where he goes on the weekend.
The sad part about that is, the sad part about that is that if you got people who supposed to be working for the American people, yes, they're supposed to serve the president, but they are really working for the American people because the president's supposed to be working for the American people. Why would you even hide his activities and what he's doing?
Money. They're getting rich off of him. They're getting absolutely filthy rich off of him. money, filthy rich off of him. And he is making them rich along with himself. They are getting rich. They are filling up their coffer with as much money as they can put into their coffer and let the chips fall where they may. They have no compassion for this country. And they believe, like Paul Ryan does, he believes that his policies and stuff and everything are going to help the country. They believe in trickle-down economy, which they know it doesn't work. But so if they know it doesn't work and then they keep on doing it, they keep enacting the policies, then it got to be another reason. The only thing I can think of is that they want that money. They see ways of making millions and millions of dollars and stuff off of him, and maybe eventually becoming billionaire. When you get into that Congress and stuff, most of the people who go there, they go there to make millions of dollars, because who would?
Well, that's what Paul Ryan did. He came in office and now he's worth anywhere between $8 and $10 million.
Absolutely.
Right out of college. Basically, working for one of the congressmen there, and then just worked his way up and ran for Congress. So now, how you going in what, he ain't been in Congress, what, 10 years maybe?
Longer than that. I think a little longer than that. He's been in there.
Well, it don't matter. I mean, how you gonna build up an $8 to $10 million, and just and when you're only making an average of $200, maybe $300,000 a year.
Well, that's because that's how they make their money. All of them are making money. They have lobbyists around there who are giving them money to talk about their policies. So that's how they get their money, and that's what they're using Trump for, to make money. Because really, actually, Ted, a lot of those policies and stuff that Trump and stuff are trying to pass, he did not do anything except for that tax cut. Now, he got that tax cut and everything and stuff through because there are more than those Republicans and stuff who wanted that thing to come through, and there are some Democratic folks and stuff who wanted that tax cut to happen, because that put money back into their pockets.
But wait a minute,
we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Yeah.
Well, we can talk about it right now, because wait a minute, because number one is called Tax Cut and Job Act.
Job Act, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the Job Act is. What's that going to do?
Well, like they keep saying, this voodoo stuff here, that when they give these tax cuts to these big corporations, they're going to use that money to create jobs.
Okay, I thought we was already at full employment.
Well, that is the joke out there, that they're going to use the money to create jobs, and that's why they gave them the tax cut, because they're going to create more jobs because of that tax cut, which is a fallacy, and they knew it, but they had to get that thing passed because they're putting money into the pockets of these billionaires, these political donors and stuff, especially Republican donors and stuff and everything, who are donating to the Republican senators and congressmen. And they told them that if they don't enact these tax cuts, that they are going to cut their money off. They're not going to give them any political money to keep them in office. So when you start taking that money out of these folks' pockets, they start listening. And they didn't care if the public cared about it or not. They passed it. And they're hoping that by them passing it, and right around Christmas time, that the public and stuff will forget by the time it comes to vote in November what they did that past December. And some of the things that they're going to do is probably right. A lot of people are going to forget about it. But it is a horrible, horrible, horrible thing that's coming down the pipes and stuff and everything. And the poor folks and the middle class are going to feel it the worst. And they've got some things and stuff in those tax cut things, and that is going to tear their pockets out. Right? The first year, they're going to get some money. But the following years, it's going to fall off. You're going to get less and less and less money, and you're going to be paying more and more taxes, because somebody is going to have to pay for that 1 point or 2 point something trillion dollar debt that they're going to have added on to our already $20 trillion debt.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, they already talking about cutting
Right.
Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and
Well,
everything else they can
that's
cut.
a that's a farce too. That's a farce too because you're in an election year, and when you're in an election year, they're not going to bother that third rail, and the third rail is Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
You know?
Not
Hey,
going to bother.
before we get more deeper into this, I just want to say, um, my wife told me I don't know if this is true or not because she read it. So but now the thing is, you know, this billionaire that does this commercial, impeach Donald Trump. There's a
Absolutely, yeah.
commercial out there. He
Starter,
sent,
stay there.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, so he, they claim that he sent 535 books personally to every congressman and senator of fire and fury.
Hmm.
So, you know, I mean, he's an activist. There's no question about
I
that.
know.
This guy is
He's
definitely an activist.
He's a
And
millionaire, and he made a lot of
millionaire.
money. He made a lot of money out there, and he using that money to gather him a army of people. And
So we'll see.
got something like four, I think. I think the last count he had something like 4 or 5 million people who signed his petition. And
Hmm.
once they sign that petition, he gets all their email addresses, he gets their names and all that stuff. And these people are following him. And he even said when he first started out, he didn't think it was going to be a big deal. But his ads and stuff out there is creating something that he is going to be a force to be reckoned with and everything with either one of these parties and stuff out there. And a lot of them don't want him to be having his ass and stuff on. And matter of fact, they forced Fox to take his ass and stuff off of their program, their channels. And they did it, but he's still out there, and other companies and stuff and everything, they're taking his dollars and stuff and everything from him and putting his ads on, and they're very powerful ads,
Yes, they
very
are.
very powerful. And he is the one who is on the ad. He is the one speaking. He's not letting anybody else speak. He is the one speaking on these ads,
Yeah.
and he's very quiet, calm, and forceful person and stuff when we start talking about that. So he's looking at now bringing in something like 10 million people and stuff and everything who are going to be signing his petition to impeach Trump. And that thing that your wife could buy and everything might be a good idea that he did. He bought those books and everything and sent it out to all those congressmen and senators and stuff and everything to let them know who in the heck they are following. Uh, they may throw the books away, but somebody else is going to read them.
Yeah, they probably sold at least a couple of 100,000 already copies.
Oh man, they got people. Man, I told you it's going to be a #1 seller, man, for on the #1 book list and everything to at least this summer. It's horrible. It's a summer gun, and I'm pretty sure that there are people out there, foreigners and other countries and stuff, who are going to be buying copies of it.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and and it is a very very horrible thing that is going on here because along with all that, we hadn't talked about this and stuff before and everything, but something happened and stuff yesterday that I think that we need to talk to at least tell our audience stuff about. We know since the election happened, they have said that the Russians and stuff were involved in the in hijacking our election. Well, it seems now that Congress, after all of these committees and stuff out there who had committees to find out did the Russians and stuff actually hack into our election. They knew they hacked into our election, but now all of a sudden now they came to the end of the line and said and the only thing they can come up with is to tell the FBI to do a research and stuff on this guy Steele, who did that Trump dossier.
Dossier.
And they telling them after all that they have not came forth and said that the Russians hacked into our election. They haven't said anything. All they're saying and stuff now is that we're closing out our hearings and everything now. So our only recommendation is to go and get Michael Steele and stuff, the guy who brought forth that. This is horrible, Ted. Now we coming into this.
To me, that's on the verge of treason. To me, as far as I'm concerned,
it is a mess.
I mean, they want to win that bad to jeopardize the American people's sovereignty, and these people have infiltrated this country, and a lot of them live in this country that's doing it, and it's almost like they don't care. They don't care whatsoever.
Well, I think that
just because they get a little money don't mean they're gonna be safe.
Well,
just because they got a little money don't mean they're gonna be safe.
It's.
I'm just saying. You got a little money now. Okay, you made you a couple of $100,000 extra a year, so you done sold your. I won't say sold, but you done sold something. Just for that, for Americans, because I believe really, as far as I'm concerned, they don't care about the American people anyway, because they know that 50% of the people in this country are first-time Americans, first and second generation Americans. So and I'm gonna prove that right now on this second.
Okay, go ahead.
Over here, over there.
Over here, over there.
Our segment is going to be about Mexico. Mexico, just to give you a little background on it, a lot of people think that, they know about Mexico, and maybe so, and that's wonderful. But
and they are back negotiating NAFTA again.
Yep. And just to let you know, this is the population. They have pretty close to about 120 million people in Mexico. They are the 11th most popular population in the world. They're 31 states. They got their independence from Spain on August 24th, 1821. They estimate for monies. Now, this is the thing. Now, this is the key here. $20 billion is sent back home. There are Mexicans that live in this country. You want to know how many Mexicans live in this country? I'm not talking about Hispanics. I'm talking about Mexicans. 40 million American Mexicans live in this country. 40 million. A total of almost 60 million Hispanics. That's other Latin type people, ethnic or racial minority. So, which $20 billion is sent back home that's coming from this country going to Mexico. Which ain't nothing wrong with that, because, that's your homeland and what have you. That's wonderful, that you can do that to help your siblings and your parents out and all of that. But another thing is, you have 25 billion is made in oil. They have this big, they call Petmex, which is one of the largest oil refinery. And so they make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
They just made a deal with another company. And so they're going to partner with them, and they're going to increase their output. So next year they might even double what they, that from last year.
Mm-hmm.
But now here's the deal. How has this happened? Now, 50% of the population live in poverty.
Mm-hmm.
There are 16 billionaires in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
The average salary is $12,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
But they are classified now. Just their GDP is 2.2 trillion, but they are still classified, even though they're the 14th richest country in the world. They're not considered a full developed country.
Mm-hmm.
How do they come to that conclusion? I don't know. But these are some of the things that's going on in Mexico. And when you look at it, which I understand is, I've been to Mexico, and it's a beautiful, beautiful country.
Mm-hmm.
And the people are very nice and friendly. The ones that we were around when we went on cruises and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And but I can understand, and that's the reason why I don't really knock anybody. If I was having a hard time in my own country and I can't make it, I'm gonna try to get out of there and go somewhere else so I can do better for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't blame anybody for doing that. However, that's over here, over there. I can say a lot of other things about Mexico and Mexicans and all that kind of stuff, but the bottom line is, they have accepted, when you look at it, excuse me, if you look at the history of Mexico, because, really half, almost the United States was owned by the Spaniards, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we took it. The American people took it.
Yeah, you got Texas, New Mexico, Arizona,
California,
all those were part
yeah.
of the Spanish acquisition or whatever.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at the history books, yeah, they were all up in their countries, and we came in there and invaded that and took all their land and everything back, everything from Mexico, from the Spanish.
But now they 40 million deep strong now, Mexicans.
The reason and stuff why they are called underdeveloped and stuff, Ted, is that they have pockets and stuff of developed part of it, but the majority of their country and stuff is undeveloped. You have the mountain regions and stuff in there. They don't, and most of them don't have internet access. They're very, very, very poor. So they consider that undeveloped. And if we're not careful as a country and stuff, we're going to get to that state and stuff also where our middle class is shrinking. And if you don't have that middle class in there and you just have the rich or the poor, then we're going to be looking like an undeveloped country also. And we'll quickly head in that way and stuff because of that greed and stuff that we're finding out in our country that's going on now. Everybody wants to be rich and stuff. And I read something and stuff that a couple weeks ago about, and somebody went out and did a study and stuff on there. And I didn't realize it, but 1 in every 6 people and stuff in this country are millionaires.
Yeah. That's right.
1 in every 6 person in this country is a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I went back and I looked at it and said, man, that can't be true. But then I thought about it. $1 million doesn't buy very much in this country.
That's right.
You got $1 million, you think you are rich? Buddy. You're in the middle class. If you got $1 million. So if you're not in that billionaire class and stuff, now you're not rich. So all these people and stuff was like, man, I got $1 million. Man, I just look at them and laugh. I said, that money will go away like that.
Just like that. I don't care if you're worth 10 million, 20 million, 100 million. It can go. Just like that.
Like that, man. And it's very, very hard to keep that money and stuff in your hands. So right now, I be telling my grandkids and stuff when they say, well, I'm going to be a millionaire. I said, no, son, no, daughter.
Yeah, be a billionaire.
You got to look at that billionaire mark now, baby, because $1 million would go like that. That sum of gun will go.
Sure, so, you can spend $1 million in one day.
Absolutely. Quick. It can go
quick.
You can buy half of that. You can spend on buying a home, and then
the
rest of it goes in taxes.
Don't buy a couple. The taxes, and then don't buy a couple of cars. I'm talking about real cars. I ain't talking about $20,000 car. I'm talking about $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 car. A couple of those.
Right, and most of those nice cars cost that much. You want to get your nice car or whatever to ride around, it's going to last a while. You're going to spend $60,000 or $70,000 for that car. So it's
shoot, trucks nowadays, man, cost you $50,000, $60,000.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
and
I was looking at a I don't know what you call it, but it's a SUV Cadillac. Nice.
SRX.
Yeah, that's what you call it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about getting one of those, and I looked at the price tag, $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
I say, man, I can keep my little whatever for $25,000. I can about the same SUV for $25,000, half of that price. I mean, but you're talking about luxury. You're talking about, all kinds of other things that come with that. So, but yeah, you're right, man. $1 million ain't nothing.
$1 million is nothing nowadays. So we need to start looking, setting our sights a little bit higher than a millionaire. So anyway, getting back to some other things that we were talking about. Remember, we were talking about this undeveloped part of Mexico and how they don't have internet, that they don't have a lot of their structure, their roads and everything is in bad shape or whatever. We had a topic and stuff that we were going to be talking about, that last one, and that's net neutrality.
Yep.
And it has to do with our internet and our access to the internet. The internet is becoming a huge, huge, huge market and stuff out there. Google, when you talk about Google, you're talking about the internet. When you talk about Facebook, you're talking about the internet. When you talk about a lot of those other companies like Microsoft now, they're going to the cloud. You're talking about Amazon, you got the internet. So you're talking huge, huge, huge companies and stuff now who will depend upon the internet to give people access to their media, access to work, and even just like we're doing right now, we're out there on the internet and stuff right now. We're using the internet to broadcast to our audience information about what's going on. So this net neutrality thing has become a big fight now, because a lot of these companies now who are ISP holders, these tier 1 ISP holders like Verizon, AT&T, Comcast, and a couple other companies out there who call themselves tier 1 ISPs, they have invested some money and some time into getting someone who will pass these. We fought very hard to get net neutrality and stuff there when Obama was in office. We finally got net neutrality passed to where these ISPs were being classified as utilities. Well, the ISPs don't want to be classified as utilities because then they're being regulated. So right now, the FCC has eliminated these net neutrality rules that were passed in 2012. And so now they have said, we are not going to have net neutrality. We're going to take it away. We're going to declassify these companies and stuff and everything as utilities and stuff because we want the internet to be competitive. Well, these ISPs and stuff know that once they get them away from utilities and stuff, and people can't monitor them, they can charge what they want for access to the internet. And they want to make huge, huge, huge sums of money by throttling people's access to the internet.
But we have a fighter.
Oh man,
we got somebody out there that's standing up to them.
Absolutely, 2 commissioners and stuff on there who are left. There are 5 FCC commissioners and stuff. There's a chairman and 2 other regular commissioners and stuff we have Republican-based folks, and there's two Democrats on there. One of the Democrats, FCC commissioners and stuff, is Jim Clyburn's daughter. And everybody should know about Jim Clyburn. He is the highest ranking Black representatives in the U.S. Congress on the Democratic side, Jim Clyburn from South Carolina. Well, his daughter was appointed to the board, the FCC board. She is an attorney, and she is really, really, really putting together a fight against these three Republicans and stuff who decided that they wanted to declassify net neutrality, eliminate those net neutrality rules. So the chairman and stuff, he is right now, Trump appointed him to be the chairman because he knew that he wanted him to eliminate that law. So now there's a big fight and stuff. They declassified it and as utilities and stuff, and they passed the they went ahead on and did their voting and stuff, and they passed it. But there's so many lawsuits and stuff out there now that are coming on board that we don't know what's going to happen here with this net neutrality thing. So we're hoping and praying and stuff that we can keep the internet free, so our information can flow freely and stuff, and we don't have to worry about sitting up there waiting until somebody allows us to broadcast what we have to say, or anybody, or if you're on Netflix, or if you're doing your Facebook Live, and all of a sudden you got something going on that you want people to see, and then one of the ISPs say, "Oh, we don't want them on because they didn't pay enough money," and then they can't have access to the net. So anyway, there's a big fight going on, and I don't know what's going to happen here, but there are some big players and stuff out there who are fighting against this net neutrality thing. And I'm hoping that we can get back and get them reclassified as utilities and stuff and get rid of this thing. But money is fighting money right now. When you got,
we'll see what's happening. What'll happen, man? Because like I tell you, it's crazy.
They are fighting because Google's money is dependent upon free access to the internet. They want people to have free access. Facebook's money depends upon free access to the internet. If their people can't get free access to the internet,
Snapchat, all of them.
Facebook does not exist anymore. Snapchat, all of them. Yeah,
all of them.
So,
well, on our last segment, Believing God Connection, my scripture is Romans 2:11. God does not show favoritism. So that's one of the things that, and I got a second scripture with that to confirm it from Job 34:19. He is not partial to princes, nor does he regard the rich more than the poor, for they are all the work of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm going to relate that back to what we were talking about earlier about people getting out, doing things and creating things and being entrepreneurs and that type of thing. It doesn't matter if, what color your skin is, doesn't matter what ethnic group you are in or what have you. You have to realize if you believe in God, that there is no favoritism with God. And if you keep the faith, you can do what you want to do. You just got to keep on. That's all. And realize that there is no favoritism. You might think, oh, well, God favored these people, or God favored that. No. There is no favoritism with God. Now, like we mentioned alliances and collaboration and all of those different types of things, partnershiping, all of those things are part of connecting with other people. When you go networking and all that. So the more people the better it is. Those people that are about business, and that's what you're about, then you need to, realize that there is no favoritism. It might be people that might not like you because of the color of your skin. It may like because your what? Wait a minute, I'm talking too fast. They might not like you because of your ethnicity, and but the bottom line is that you just keep on talking to anybody who would listen to your pitch and whatever you're doing, and then God will have the right person for you to help you with that situation. That's what I really believe. There's always a ram in the bush. So that's what I really believe.
Yeah.
So realize that there is no favoritism with God.
Mine has something to do with prayer. I got this verse and stuff from Psalms 66:19. But verily, God has heard me. He has attended to the voice of my prayers.
Okay.
If we think that he is not listening to our prayers, this verse out of the Bible and stuff lets you know that he heard your prayer. And no matter no matter if you get it today or tomorrow, he hears your prayers. And a lot of times when we ask him to do things and stuff for us, sometimes he does it and we don't even know it. I don't know if you and I talked about it, but I think my wife and I talked about it when there's a parable and stuff out there about how this guy who's sitting on the side of the road and he asks God to come by there and help him. And this guy drives by and looks over at him and says, "Hey, you want to ride?" He said, "No, I'm waiting on the Lord." Somebody else drives by and everything. he said, "You need some help?" No, waiting on the Lord. So finally, Jesus comes by there and everything, and the man asks him and said, "What's happened to you? Why didn't you come by there? Why didn't you answer me?" He said, "I sent these people by there, and you didn't even take them right. I sent them to you." So a lot of times we don't recognize when God is answering our prayers. He listens to us, and we are so wanting him, just him personally, to take care of us that we don't realize that he's already then sent somebody by there to help you. We don't realize it, that they're there, that they're there to help. He sent them there to you.
Absolutely. That right there is a good word there.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're about at the end, Ted. We finished up our hour. I know we're gonna be having to get off the air, but we hope viewers who are out there now, who are viewing us, who are seeing our videos and stuff out there, we are piling them up. We have an archive now that's set up. We have something like about 20 or 25 videos out there that people can go out there and look at some of our shows that we got. Every Saturday when we finish up, we put I'm starting to put the shows on Facebook. So everybody be able to see them. We've been putting our blogs and stuff out there. I know Mr. Harvey has been sick for about two or 3 days, but I've been out there doing my part. And almost every day now.
Okay, pat yourself on the back. All right, I know.
Yeah, almost
holding it down.
Every day, man, I'm churning out these hours and stuff. So, next Saturday and stuff, when we get on there, one of the things that we're going to talk about is California.
Oh yeah, that's a good topic.
Yeah, I have written a bunch of articles and stuff about California. The new state, the new country, the new country. So, but anyway, we hoping that everybody enjoys us, and we are looking forward to this new year. And we have a lot of things planned for us, for our viewers or whatever. We're getting ready to do some redesigning and stuff of our platform here. We're going to start putting out some more videos, some audios and stuff out there, so people will be able to listen to our broadcast or whatever that we have. So look forward to some good things and stuff in 2018.
Okay. Well, until next week.
Until next week.
Yeah.
We'll see you all. Bye-bye.